Welcome, my friends, to our very first Aquarian show. It is good that we are here. I have things planned out, and this is going to be a new thing. The Aquarian AM morning show with a whole schedule. It's a jam-packed event. Fade out. So, we will first thank you, audience, for being here to watch. This will be a spiritual news show. I know the spiritual community might not want to watch the news, and I could hear that loud and clear. But I think we shouldn't totally check out from society. And then on the opposite side of that, those who are glued to the news 24/7 and perhaps lacking in some type of human development, dare I say spiritual, is why I put it in quotations, because the word spiritual, I'm still working with that word. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be an amalgamation of those two things. So we'll go with the date, and we start with a little bit of numerology. Today is January 17th, 2023. So we take the 17, which goes to an 8. And then we bring it to the 1 of the month of January, which brings us to a 9. And then 2023 is a 7 year. So we'll have that number 7 that we're twerking with throughout the whole year, which is the number of order, the crown of creation, the day of rest. The 7th letter of the Hebrew alphabet is called Zayin. Zayin. And it crowns the 6th, the Vav. Which is why in Hebrew Jewish teachings is that this creation, it's 6,000 years old. Creation in the sense of perhaps the man 6,000 years ago hit a conscious point in development where it started. The creation of the soul, perhaps, I don't know. But we all know that this world is human beings have been around for longer than 6,000 years. That they might count that as the beginning of the Israel or Judea as a people, because there are some strains of thought who don't believe that those who are outside of that clan are even humans. There's religion gone wrong. Here we talk about all the taboo stuff at the Aquarian morning show. We talk about religion, philosophy, politics, corruption, the New World Order being injected into us, which goes into the order, the theme of order, which will be the theme throughout this whole year of 2023. We're challenged to bring order into our own lives, taking responsibility for our own self-mastering, our mind, controlling our thoughts, and hence our emotions. Right now, as we have the last day of Capricorn season upon us, we get a booster shot. Does Pfizer want to sponsor this, by the way? You get a heavy dose of the sign that you're leaving. It gives you a little goodbye slap in the face to have you remind the lessons of this obstacle, of this trial, each of this cycle, this labor. Hercules has 12 labors. There are 12 zodiacal signs. The 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 apostles of Jesus, the 12 Knights of the Round Table, 12 months in the year, 12 eggs in a dozen. Let me stop. I'm gonna stop. But I would like to point you to the heavens right below the horizon as the sun's getting ready to rise on this very AM morning show. We have the sun getting ready to align exactly in a conjunction, coming together at the same degree and minute. The large number is the degree, 30 degrees in each sign, and on the 11th minute, 60 minutes in each degree. We're learning together, isn't this beautiful? So when the sun is the highlight, the highlighter. And so it highlights wherever it is in the sky. But it also kind of blots it out because wherever the sun is, we can't see the stars. Within about 15 degrees to each side. So right now we have Mercury just above the horizon rising. So we have Mercury as the morning star right now, the herald. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Wake the fuck up! Wake up to, there's a quote that says, from perhaps J.P. Morgan, I don't know, that says, millionaires don't use astrology. Billionaires do. And there might be something to that. So as we're going to get an extra dose of Capricornian energy because we are in the sign of Capricorn, and as we're nearing the anaretic degree is what it's called, which is the final degrees of a sign, which is where you get a real punch of it. The sun, which is highlighting Capricornian things, authoritarian, bosses, our ability to take responsibility, to rise up to our call in action, to take that, it's the starting on a new step on firmer ground. Aries, all the cardinal signs are, you start something. Aries starts spring, fire. So Aries runs off into battle, while Capricorn is the master behind the scene. Saturn is out lurking and he's controlling things. It's the architect who puts together the plan. Then you have Aries type people run out there and take the land. And then you have the Tauruses plow the field. Oh, so we're going to have those type of, we can have our relationships with authority will be highlighted. Now, bringing into that mix, we have the planet Pluto, Hades, the lord of the underworld, the modern ruler of Scorpio, which is the great recycler, regenerator, the breaking down of the alchemical process from like rubido, negredo, the ashes, the phoenix, the cross before the resurrection, on the top of the Mount of Capricorn. Pluto intensity. Pluto asking us to go deep to find the truth in our hierarchical authoritative systems and how they're set up. Perhaps the ones in the world that we think are so just and even divinely freaking instituted are man-made creations used to oppress us, and then they use religion to justify their right to rule over us. Or fear. Fear Pluto when we go down to the underworld in Capricorn, in hell, to meet Satan, Saturn, the Lord over the winter in Capricorn, which is why. And the winter and the fall is the world. Spring and summer is heaven, the book of life. Here we're going through the book of dead, and we're about to meet the grand master of this level, Satan. And what do we do with Satan? Kick Satan right in his cojones. The part of us that just wants instant gratification to fulfill our base desires. This is asking us to exercise our willpower consciously. Why doth I say that, Liam? Because Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Our willpower, Mars. Our energy, Mars. Our life force, Mars. Our blood, Mars. The more I got into this beautiful esoteric teachings, I slept on Mars for a while. I'm just like, oh, it's the warrior. It's the devil. And in Capricorn, Saturn, Satan. But then when it moves to Aquarius, it's our savior, Soter. That's how the adversary becomes the advocate. And they play off of that against us, especially with the creation of Christianity. So we get a chance to, we could have an experience with authority that, you could, our ego is a very small identity type thing. This is where we forge our willpower with the willpower of the divine. This is how we exercise our free will, which separates us even from the angels, perhaps. And with that comes great responsibility. How we use our energy. This is a time to collaborate, structure, Capricorn, what we're doing for our career, thinking about our legacy that we're going to leave behind, and our actions, is our energy that we spend right now in being used towards that, or is it towards some bullshit? We could transmute what we were using our energy for, perhaps even fucking killing ourselves through some unhealthy shit. Or if not physically, healthily wise, psychologically wise. Making excuses, Capricorn don't want to hear your excuses, your ideas. Capricorn don't give a shit about our ideas. It wants to see it. It's the show me sign. This is where we meet our temptation on the top of the Mount of Capricorn. Can we say, get behind me, Satan? Get behind me, Saturn. Limiter. Exposing limiting beliefs. Poverty mindsets that we might have that we could leave on the mountain. They also sacrificed the goat on the top of the mountain. They prodded off with their goat prod, from whence we get the word God etymologically, as a goat prod, hearkening to Saturn in Capricorn. Now, we've been suckled at the bottom of this mountain in a cave by the she-goat, the very same she-goat who suckled Castor and Pollux, Remus and Romulus to find Rome. And it wasn't built in a day. It was small, methodical, sure steps. How the ibex of Capricorn works its way to the top of the mountain to become the greatest of all time. That takes practice and it takes patience. I know, things we don't want to hear, especially in today's world where instant gratification reigns supreme. And I am guilty, hallelujah, of such a thing. I'm addicted to my phone, cigarettes, coffee, but I am trying to take other addictions and transmute them. And then we'll go to the cigarettes. This is that one step at a time mentality, but not a procrastination mentality, of taking a step on the right path. And right now is a very good time, because it will be injected with a certain amount of power to bring you to the riches that are well deserved and earned. Because Pluto not only rules the underworld, but also riches. And when we dig deep psychologically, bravely, boldly, lovingly, we heal those deep wounds that have been covered over, perhaps because we weren't ready to face them, because they're traumatic, because they're uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable in our emotional, reflective pond. Dive deep into it. Throughout all our brain phantoms and fears that we've put so much energy into, that we've created bodies in an ethereal realm, and we dive through them to get to the bottom of the situation, the crux of it. And there we find our sword, Excalibur. We pull the sword out of the stone, which is our base existence, and we point ourselves towards the sun to be a light, to be illuminated, and to share that light with others in a well-constructed, more mature manner. This is where you can see divine timing. You're like, oh, I could see how if I would have wrote that book last year or year before, I would have just thrown it in the freaking fire, because it would be all wrong, because I learned through so much through experience, experiential knowledge. And now we're being called to exercise intelligently what we have learned from our experiences, to show our wisdom by doing the work, Capricorn. Showing up even when it's not exciting, when you don't want to. Doing it. Sacrificing that short-term gain for a long-term goal. That's magic. When you're consciously doing it, consciously exercising our will, sacrificing, the law of sacrifice, not just on our own personal level, sacrificing this candy bar for that push-up, sacrificing my own desire, often for comfort, often for pleasure, fame, fortune, sacrificing that for the good of humanity. Building our riches in heaven without abandoning earth, but fully entering into it are you a current of grace, a channel of peace. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me show love. So tomorrow, Wednesday, we will be having that Pluto conjunction with the Sun for some deep death to new life type experiences. Oh, why am I knocking over this? I have the garbage man. Very interesting situation. So the top of my garbage can was broken because those jaws of death that grab them and throw it in, well, it snapped my top. And so I was going to put it together with like Bondo fiberglass. I had duct tape on it, which I use for everything. Duct tape should sponsor this show, by the way, because fix broken hearts with duct tape. And I looked to like get a new one, and I so never did it. And then just today, this has been going on, mind you, for years, maybe centuries, maybe lifetimes. And just today, I hear a dump truck and a rattling of a garbage can. I'm like, well, I don't have mine even out. And it's too early. I go out there. What doth show up in my driveway? A brand new garbage can that the city dropped off. What a glorious day. And now we're going to see if, when the garbage guy comes around, if he'll take the whole broken garbage can away. And so I put the top on it and the sign on it that says, "Take me?" ? And a heart on it. So stay tuned for tomorrow's show to see if they do pick up the whole can, because that would be great. Whoa, just a reason to tune in to tomorrow's show. Let's go to the tarot, and we'll pick a card after we go through the news, because I want to switch up spiritual shit, news shit. I might have to stop cursing so much on these things. I don't want to do that. So for the news, we're just gonna flick between CNN and Fox News, because I don't take any side. But it's nice to see what they're up to. Looks like there's... And I'll remind you of my predictions for the year 2023. You know, I might do that again. I rewatched it. It could have been better. Okay, so... the flames of war. Rumors of war. Ukraine bad. Ukraine good, Russia bad, America the best. Oh, before this whole thing, and perhaps still, Ukraine was the hotbed for money laundering and like the corruptest out of all the places in Europe. It just so happens that's where there's a war that we care about. Can I tell you about a bunch of other shit that we should also care about that we haven't for a long time? Yemen. See, guys, I have to be careful doing news because I also don't want to get further shadow banned than I already am. So I want to look for the spirituality in the news. Okay, here we have... Europe's warm winter is robbing Putin of a trump card. The trump cards are the cards of the tarot deck, and the Illuminatis be using them, and so we use them and to see what they're up to, and to redeem them. It's like a computer. Oh, so bad people use computers. So does that mean that all computers are bad? dumbest shit I ever heard. A White House facing a fresh crisis. Unforced errors. That brings me to the etymology. You know, almost every day maybe we'll do an etymology thing because we learn so much. Etymologyonline.com. If you want to sponsor, get in on this. Send me some fresh merch. Crisis. A decisive point in the progress of a disease. Have we been in a crisis lately? In our own life? Are crises bad? Well, let's try to look at it a little bit objectively, because when we hear crisis, we're like, get thrown off it already. It gives us like anxiety, right? Just hearing that word. A decisive point in the progress of a disease. Objectively, that's what. Also, a vitally important, that means to life, to our vitality. Important or decisive state of things. You know, as I think of vitality, I think of Mars. What is vitriol? Oh, we're about to find out live on fucking video if he's gonna pick it up. He's stopping. I have a bush block. Oh, he took it! Let's go! Let's go! The note worked. Oh, this beautiful garbage delivery picker-upper. This song's going out to you. Every beat of my heart on the duets. Let's have a good Tuesday. Mars rules today. Tires Day. Mr. Garbage Man. I should have gave you a Christmas bonus. Next year, I love you. I love you. Oh my. Well, that was exciting. Oh, and then in order to be fair, we have to go over to Fox News, bringing you their propaganda. Who is Harry and Meghan? Who gives a shit? Oh my God. Dog, I hope no one turns into this. We are royalty. To acknowledge them as royal is acknowledging us as not. Fucketh that. Take that to the Cambridge Library. Put that in your pipe. Lord. Whomever's worth. And smoke it. Funny, look who is in control of the Bank of the Royals of England and of the money of Rome, of the Catholic Church. You would think like, oh, they have their own things that make you go things that make you go Law professor reveals role Biden's lawyers may play in potential criminal investigation. They're all criminals. Look at this. Murder suspect. Stupid viral TikTok. Whistleblower speaks out on top docs. Big pharma corruption. Family ties. Yeah. Fauci's wife is the person in charge of like overseeing that everything's ethical that his department does. What the fuck? a mass shooting on MLK Day event. Fort Pierce, predominantly black place. Black on black crime. Sad. This is weird. That's
hopeful.
sad. Oh, God. We do live in a systematic racist society. And what can we do about that? Education, hopefully. Money. Instead of sending all this money that we've sent to Ukraine, if we would put that into the inner cities. Holy shit. Instead of co-opted psyops like Black Lives Matter, the millions of dollars that went to them from like Nike and stuff went to these Marxist, like militaristically socialist groups who went and got mansions in white fucking neighborhoods. Thank you very much. But right now, the mark's on a white man's head. And that's just obvious. If you don't see that there's a target on the back of white men, and that is, you're missing out on the obvious. And that should do it for our news today. So this is how news is gonna go. Let's see what's going on in the actual world. They don't even have the option for like world news. U.S., yeah, politics, media, opinion, business, sports. What about the world? Oh, poor Tom Brady. I live in Tampa, and that's called not going out with a bang. Like, it's a Capricorn experience. World, here you go. You gotta do so much to get to world. World religion, let's see what's going on. Bible verse of the week. Apostle Paul, one of the biggest operatives, like agents. So was St. Patrick, by the way. And Peter. Total. Church of England sets aside $100 million to address past wrongs over slavery. You know, I have Irish ancestors who were slaved. What about the Native Americans, dog? All we did, we gave them casinos and like tax-free tobacco sales. Pope Francis. Oh, Pope Benedict passed away. That is, Capricorn is kind of like a Pope type energy, very authoritarian, structured, hierarchical. And then we're seeing that fade away. What's going to happen to the church when the message gets out that there was no historical Jesus, that it's allegorical, and that much of it has been propped up and used to get people to abandon their own culture and heritage for this one? Wake up, Gentiles. Wake up, Christians. We've been brain effed. Now, there's still beautiful teachings that we could get from the Bible, from the teachings of the character of Jesus. We could use it. But it needs to be combed with the fine-tooth brush of historical, critical analysis, rationality, without combing out spirituality. I believe we could do that. Vatican reopens decades-old case of missing girl Emanuela Orlandi. I don't even want to believe what happens to the Vatican. Is dark as shit. And so is news sometimes. But we gotta do it, guys. Okay, but we finish off. So, gosh, I can't do it. 35 minutes. Okay. We finish off and we go to beautiful Tarot and my beautiful website, which is in the works. And a new logo I came up with for All Souls Aquarian. Both begins with A. The Ring of Saturn, who's a ruler of Aquarius. Aleph is like father, air. And then the female is the circle, the waters, and earth, perhaps. We're always bringing fire, air, the masculine together with the feminine, earth and water. Under the auspices of the five, the fifth element, the ethereal. So let us come together holistically today, and let us be a shining light of the Aquarian, trying to bring us into the age of Aquarius without going into their new world order, where we're just put in line to be useful slaves, or worse, because the population is too much. That's a lot of people to round up. You don't need that many people. That gets too many hands in the pot. Too many feet on the dance floor. That's not a saying. I just made that. So let us be conscious and hopeful. I know it gets depressing sometimes. Let us reach out for strength to the goddess, something that's been an archetype and phenomena, a super reality that's been totally shit upon for the past forever in this existence. The card that would like to speak to us, thank you, beautiful spirit. The Four of... So we have the major arcana, ladies and gentlemen. I knew this was big. Learning the Hebrew alphabet. All the tarot cards are based over the Hebrew alphabet, which comes from Akkadian, Sumerian, Egyptian hieroglyphics. And it's very similar to the runes. I think we might have all had, like, they call it the golden language that we all had primitively. The 22nd of the tarot card. I'm sorry, the 22nd letter in the Hebrew alphabet, which is the last one. The Tav, which is the 21st tarot card, which is the world. Here's the seal. The end of Capricorn. What we're putting in to the earth right now is so important. And then combine that with the exercisation of the word. Being consciously aware of the power of your word, giving birth to creation from your throat, and let it be matched up with our mind, our heart, our emotions, and our body, our mechanical nature, our instinctual, primitive life, energy, force, Mars, exalted in Capricorn, the fire, so much appreciated in winter. Let us be that sunlight in the darkest and coldest of times. And that will do it for the Aquarian TV show. Magical number of the day, 22, which also equals a 4. And then other magical number of the day, 9, which is very much Mars. 9 together with the 4 is 13. Who is the mystical magician magus of a woman? The oracle behind the veil. Our intuition, the throne of the Pharaoh, seat of wisdom. Protect us and guide us today, goddess of 1,000 names. Ooh, I like this show. And shout out to the city of Tampa garbage people. I don't like calling them garbage people. So, there's a bunch of garbage people over. No, they are playing a vital role. You know, Isis and her twin, the Dark Magus, Nephthys, which I'm revealing mysteries to you, which I don't feel comfortable. You better appreciate it and use it. Use her. You ain't manifesting without a relationship with the Divine Mother. She's also the fiery serpent, Kundalini. She's prana. She's Vril. She is Mars, the feminine side of her, with the moon in Scorpio right now, where Mars is also home in a more feminine way, in the book of death as opposed to the book of life, Aries. Worthy is the crown, the lamb of the ram of Aries, who rules the top, the crown. Take our royalty back from Harry and Meghan. Let us have a good day. 4. Think about the number 4. And then tomorrow we'll come back and we'll do it all again. Allah willing.